Hey guys, welcome back to the Girk Family Farms. We have the sheep gone. We took them to the auction. They're selling this morning. Depending on time, they've probably already sold. I probably have a check sitting waiting for me. We have 4 Corriente cattle coming in a week, and they're a little hard on fences. So I brought up some cattle panels. They were on my to-do list this weekend, so we can kind of make a mini corral. I'm going to train them on a hot wire. I got a to-do list. One of them was bringing the red panels up and getting this stall cleaned up. I want to get the dry stalls cleaned up. I need to fix my electrical fence charger. And then I need to wash and rotate the water trough over to this pasture, this little paddock that I'm going to build for the new cows. I think they're about 6 months old, so we're not going to quite integrate them with these guys yet. And I'm not sure I will. Depending on these new cows' attitude, we'll see how it goes. Another thing, it's kind of hit and miss. I got this hay rack right here that was down low for the hogs. I kind of wanted to move it over here underneath this window. That way, if I wanted to just toss a couple flakes of hay, I could just open this window, toss them in, and be done. But there's also a grain bin down here. It's raining real hard, and we're trying to beat the rain. I'll show you what we got going on. So that's actually a mixture of hay, or not hay, that's actually a mixture of rain and ice. You know, they are claiming 30 inches of snow in the mountains this weekend, and I don't know what the temperature is here on the farm, but I'm cold, my fingers are cold, and it's raining hard. But anyway, since I had the sheep gone, I thought now I would make a good time to, I pulled out these stall mats right here, right? They were all kind of laying across the floor, and because they were there, the hogs ended up digging them up and digging holes underneath them and whatnot, and they made the ground really uneven and really kind of unpleasant. So because the hogs dug such a deep hole underneath them, they were kind of like, the stall mats were kind of pushed like this gap. Stall mats were pushed up under the gap, and the hogs were digging under the barn there, and had a great big hole here, and there was a great big hole right here. And I thought, well, you know, the sheep are gone, the cows are coming, and you know, it's not really recommended to put cows, from what I've read, on stall mats unless the barn is on a cement floor. So I pulled the mats out, and I gassed up the rototiller, brought it in here, and I rototilled this, and it did all right. You know, there's some chunks of hard dirt still under, that was under the stall mats. And I'm thinking about getting the pickaxe and going down another 3 inches or so and bringing the rototiller back in here and doing another pass through and breaking up as much as we can. You know, I just don't want it to be so hard packed that there's no drainage at all. So did that, and then I just took this 2x4 and I kind of leveled it out with that. Got it all kind of nice, and it looks decent. And then depending on pricing on the market right now, we're either going to do wood chips and shavings, or I'm going to try to find some straw at a decent rate. But then these dry stalls over here, this is kind of like a catch-all. There's a trash bag that's been storing grain sacks, from like dog food and corn and wheat and blah blah blah. So it's just a big tall trash can that's got empty bags in it in case we need them for some reason. We did have hay stored over here for a while, so there's a couple of pallets that the hay used to sit on. There's a dog kennel and some buckets, and there's a metal water trough here, a high water trough. But when we sheared the sheep, we put all the wool in that high trough. I think Liz has a plan for it, but I'm not 100% sure. Right now she has a portion of it. I don't know how you would even measure it, if you would measure it by weight or what, but she's got a portion of it up at the house. She spent several days washing it and getting it all clean and processed. That way it can be used, strung in a string or something. I'm not sure. Stuffing for a dog bed, I don't know. So we got a whole ton of that still. But I want to clean all that out, and I'm going to try to buy a ton of hay. I don't know if I can fit a whole ton in the dry stall. I might have to do a half a ton over here and a half a ton over there. And then I'll buy probably 3 bales of straw, maybe 4, and I'll do 2 here and I'll do 2 over there for them cows, if I can't get my hands on some cheap wood chips. So that's kind of the progress that we got going on. I still need to hang my fence charger. The pigs ended up chewing the plug off the end of it, so I got to redo the electrical plug on it, and then I'm going to run electrical wire on this small little parcel that I did for them. I'll show you that right quick so you guys have an idea. So it's going to go from this man gate, and I'm starting at this red gate. I put these in yesterday after work. And it's going to go over to the primary fence there, and it's just hog panels on T-posts. And it's going to come around. It's going to come to the primary fence, come down to this man gate that the sheep are using to access the 2 acres. Then it comes to this fence line where there's a gate that's here that closes, and it's just going to be hot wired. That way they can kind of train and acclimate to an electric fence. The guy I'm getting the cows from, he bought them from somebody. I don't know if it's a friend of his or what, but they were rope and steer, so they got horns. They're forward-facing horns, and they're primarily used in sport for roping, head roping, and I guess the calves were kind of getting fed up, and they would like come out of the rope and shoot, and they would just stop and stand there, and that doesn't make a good roping calf. So they sold them cheap to my buddy, and they're hard on fences, and he's leasing pastures, and they just keep tearing the fences out, and he's got to go rope them out in the highway. So he said they're about time to move on to the next pasture, so he's selling them to me. And he's going to bring them over from Bend, I think, next weekend in a week. So we got to try to get ready for that. At least be as prepared as we can. As long as they have a dry, warm place to stay out of the weather. That's really all that matters. They got their water. Well, I'm going to wash it and rotate it over here because it's on the other side of the barn right now. And then I'm going to try to run some hot wire. So we'll see as much as we can get done today with the rain coming and going. All right, stick around. Hey guys, so we're just checking in this evening. I didn't technically finish our video today because we had kind of a nasty storm roll in, and where the cows are, that barn, that little half barn there, the wind and the rain were coming down and blowing so hard that it took that roof and it just peeled it off. And about half the roof came off. and it ripped all the cross members, the cross beams that the roof screws to right off of the framework of the barn itself. So it damaged the top of all the boards. So I couldn't even, peel the roof back and screw it back down because there's nothing to screw to. It just ripped it all apart. So I grabbed ratchet straps, strapped the roof down the best that I could so it wouldn't finish blowing off, and made a quick dash to get another spot available where the pigs used to be, kind of one of the shared stalls that the sheep were using, because there's two that use that same paddock, same pasture. And so they're over there. We rotated the cows over there, got food and water moved over, got them moved over one by one, haltered them and moved them over. And that was a challenge. They've never been on halter before. I haven't halter trained them. So that was a challenge in and of itself. And so there was that. We struggled just getting halters on the cows. And then once they were on, they fought us basically all the way across the parking lot to where the sheep were. Liz had to come out and help me. I was putting the lead around my waist and I was pulling as hard as I could while she was behind them, kind of nipping at their heels, so to speak. But that took a lot out of us, and after that we were covered in mud, covered in cow shit, and it was raining the whole time, so it was just pouring on us. We were soaking wet to the bone, and it kind of took the day out of us. We were pretty tired after that, so we went up to the mudroom, stripped all our clothes into the washing machine, and immediately started that load of laundry, and we kind of called it a day there. What I had done on my list, basically I got the fence charger fixed. That's all I got done on the list. Still looking for electrical tape. I know I got some around here somewhere, but we had to fix the wiring. The pigs chewed the end of the plug off, and I had to put a new plug on the end of the wire to plug it in. So I got that fixed. I just need electrical tape to kind of cover it up and protect it from the elements and whatnot. So just wanted to call, or let you guys know that that's why the end of this week's video just kind of cuts off. There wasn't really much progress, and that happened. But also, it sounds like we're about to go to 4 days a week at work due to weather for a little while, so I'll have a little extra time for recording videos and doing chores. So maybe we'll be able to get an extra video in, or put a little more time and effort into the video, since I only record and whatnot on Saturdays. So stick around, we'll get at it. Thanks.